Now, how to create a permission set group? So I have one permission set created, right? So account permission group. Same thing, all settings will be similar to that, but the UI will be different, where you have to add a multiple permission sets. So add permission sets here. So you have to go to all permission sets. I want to add some permission sets like this 3. I want to add. So done. So I have 3 permission sets added here. Okay, and so similarly, you can remove the permission set as well. So if I go back to a group, so I have one now, permission set group. So here you're going to have this permission set, what are all part of this permission set group, and then you can have a on top of it as well. Now, how to assign? Assigning this permission set will be similar to how we did for a permission set. Manage assignments to the group. Then you will be assigning it to our users. Same like how we did before. Assignment available licenses. Okay, so it's saying it will add a feature license to it. B2B solutions. Okay. Oh, okay. It's saying like they don't have a permissions. So previously I mentioned, right? If you have the license of the supporting license, then only we can add. So these licenses like a B2B license, the user what we are using, they don't have it, these licenses. So that's the reason we cannot only assign users to the permission set group that have a updated status. Okay, it's saying like license restrictions. Because of that, we are not able to do it. Then what we'll do is we will remove this B2B licenses from here in this group, and we will try to add from the same group. Remove permission sets. Okay, done. I want to add a different permission set which is not restricted by these licenses. So let's say a sales user, we don't have any restrictions. Sales console user also don't have much restrictions. So I'll add this too. And then okay, I'm good with the so I have added 3 permission sets to a group. Now manage assignments. I want to add it to the one user. So you can add multiple users as well. Just we have again, if you select these, again I will run into that license issues. Assign, done. So I've added to this user. That's it. Okay, now okay, so if I want to go to the user and see what are all things assigned to this user, how I can check? You can see this is the permission set assignments, this one, and permission set group assignments. These are the 2 places where you can add multiple licenses as well. So if you go directly to the user, you can add multiple permission set at a time. If you have multiple permission set, you can just move all these permission sets directly to the left to right, and you can save it. That's it, done. So one place you can do directly from the user when you have to do for so 2 ways. Then you have to assign a single permission set to the multiple users, then go to the permission set and do all the users at a time. If you have for one user and you have to assign 10 permission sets, then directly go to the user and assign permission sets. Both you are doing the same, but one is benefit when you're having more to do. One is benefit when you have to move. Like you have to select how you have to assign it. And similar to the permissions at the group. So a thing was when you have a requirement or need, you have to think of optimal way of doing it and which will be less work to you. Just at the end of the day, the features what the users will get the same, but you have to think how your work will be simpler and easier. So if you have less clicks, there is a less chances of getting errors or mistakes. Okay, then good with permission set and tab. Okay, tab is nothing but in the UI we'll get kind of a link, right? That's what we um, see yesterday. So if you go to a tabs from a setup, so there you see a different types of tabs: custom object tabs, web tabs, visual force tabs, lightning component tabs, lightning page tabs. So custom object tabs are like whatever all the standard objects are created, you will having the tabs for every object. So you don't need to create again. So these custom object tabs are like if you create any new object, then only you will see that options here in this drop down. And for that object, you can create a tab and you can control the visibility in apps so that you can see the tab. And web tabs. Web tabs are simply if you want to open any web page from the tab, then you can use this web tab. So you can directly give any URL in this web tab so that it will be navigate to that web page. So just we're giving a navigation to any of your website in a Salesforce. Next, visual force page tabs. So this one will be covered in development. So when you have development, if you need any custom UI, then we will be creating a pages called a visual force pages. So when you create a page, it's not enough. You have to give some link to access that page. So you can create the page links here. So if you have created any page, then you will be getting a drop down of the pages. Then you can create. So we don't have any things done here. So that's why we don't see any options. Once we have done any of these, we'll come back to here and create and we'll see. Okay. And lightning components, it will be covered in lightning. Once we have a lightning component, then you can create a tabs using that lightning component. Similarly, lightning pages also. When you have a page created, then you can do. So when we're going to cover these topics, then we'll come here and see. Okay, so for now, at least we'll do for a custom object. So tabs we see and then object. If you see the object, then we will come to this after creating the object. So when you go to a setup home page, you will see there's one more tab called object manager. So in this object manager, you will see all the objects available in your org. So see here, everything is naming it as a standard object. That means by default given by the Salesforce. So if you want to create a new object, custom object, okay, I want to sorry, I want to create object called, let's say, project. I'm going to give a project and so you have to give a plural name. This plural name is used as a tab name. When you create a tab, this plural name is used as a tab name. So remember, when you want to change the tab name, you don't need to go to the tab. You have to go to the object. In object, you have a plural label which will be used for the tab name. And this is you want to start with the vowel send and here, and this is the API name of your object name. So this is the label, right? So whenever you look at the object, this is the label of your object, but this is the API name. what actually in the backend it stores in the database. That's what's the object name. There should not be any spaces, and there should not be no double underscores. This is the underscore. If you give two of this is the double underscore. This is not allowed. Double underscore is not allowed, and spaces are not allowed. And description. So this time I want to show you. That's why I gave a space here, so it will show error message. Description, if you want to give anything. So the best practice is to add a description every time you create. So whatever you create, there will be a description option. So it's a best way of understanding for a future developers or users who are doing it. So this object is used to um, maintain project information of SF Tech. So like just I'm giving something, but you can give like more meaningful when you're doing it. And then so we have like help window. So we remember, right, when we do something, so we see this help pages for everything. So when you create for account, what you want a standard salesforce documentation, or you want to give your own documentation like a visual force page. If you have something you have built on your custom, you can select this one and select the pages from here. So we don't have anything for now. So then when we have created a record, so there will be a one column default selected as a name that will be used to the navigation. So I'm keeping it as a text, and you have option to auto number as well. So for now we will create a text, and there is these checkboxes you see: allow reports, allow activities, field tracking history. Everything we will discuss later. Okay. If we discuss these, it's not going to the right time. So once we cover reports, then you will know what actually allow reports does. Activities means if you want to do any task or event on this record, if you do this check, then only you are allowed to do any activities on that. Field tracking means something. I'm just giving an overview. Don't think that we are done with this. So when we have field tracking enabled, so when we make any field change, then we can have a history over there. I'm not checking this for now, so that we'll see how it will be. Allow sharing, L bulk API access, stream API access. So when you're saying allow sharing, there is a record level security that we're going to cover later. So you want to do that sharing or not. So if you check this box, then only the sharing will be enabled for this. And bulk API access. Bulk API access means, so usually when we create a record, you'll click on a new record and you'll give some fields and save, right? So that means you'll create only one record, but you have a requirement to load hundreds and thousands and millions of data into your object. Then you cannot create from UI. You cannot create one by one. We have to create in a highest bulk number of records. If you enable this access, bulk API access, then only you can load a huge number of records from backend. That's a bulk API access. Streaming API access is like when you want to like refreshing whenever there is a change is happening. That is a streaming whenever there is a change happen. That's a allow streaming API access. So what is the difference between a deployment status in development, in deployed? Let's say you are doing it in a production. Okay, so already some users are using it, and you think somebody may see, and before you completed your work, they will start using. If you feel that, then you can keep it as in development. When you say in development, nobody else can see this object, even though you created, even they create permissions, everything. Nowhere it will be displayed basically. Even if you in the profile say nowhere, it will be displayed as an object. It will be for other users, it will look like no object is created. Only if you selected the deployment, then only this object will be visible in anywhere. So make sure that if you are not able to see the access to some other users, then you have to make sure that whether the deployment status is deployed or not. Allow search. This is to you see here, right? Search setup. Because we are in a setup page, it's asking to search in a setup. So if you are in any of the app pages like this, see here is a search option. So you can search in a different objects or you can search in all organization. So um, here I want to search on this in any of the thing, then I will get the search results over here. So I will get search results like that. So when I create a project, you have a same name project here, then you will get one more box and saying project and what are the results you get. If you check that box, then only you will see that option there. So if you want to allow search, then do. If you don't want to allow the search in that section, then you can remove from here. So it no longer be searchable. That's it. So adds notes and attachments, launch new custom tabs. So you don't need to go directly to the tabs and create. When you check this box, it will automatically create a tab for you. So I'm not checking this box to show you how to create a tab and adding a notes and attachments to the default page layout. So there will be standard features that come along with your objects, but just whether you want to add to the page layout or not, we'll do it later, like how it's benefit to you. I'm not checking this box. Once we're creating, we can see that. See here, I explained you, right? So if you give a space, it will not allow you to give save. So I removed the spaces and then it's allowed me to save. Okay, now I have created a project. Let's see whether I was able to access this or not. So the name is a project, right? I don't see it here. Let's see if I was able to see here. I was not able. No, I was not able to see here as well. So I have to check whether I have a tab ready for it or not. I'm going to the tabs. I'm going to the tabs. Hope everybody is following. New. Now I see the new object called a project, and I'm checking the tab style. Here you can see like what are the icons you want to give. You can use that. And if you want to add description, you can add here. See, it's not asked for any name to display. You have observed it or not. It asked only the object and tab style. It's not asking what name to be displayed for a tab. So that will be taken from the object. What is the plural name? There only it will apply. So apply one tab visibility to the all profiles. So see here, here also we're getting a profile access, which profiles you want to give access. So I want to keep it as a hidden. And next. So if some other users are already having their personal customization, so there is a one pencil icon, right, where they can control their personal settings, like they can reorder and they can have more additions to it. So if you check this box, it will append. That means at the end, it will add a new tab to them. When they have personal customizations to them, it will add at the end if you are giving access to these apps. So I don't want to add in all the apps. See here, in the apps also you can include. You don't need to go to the app and do it again. While creating the tab itself, you have an option to add to a different platform. So I want to add only in SF Tech and in Sales app. I want to add it. So what we did, just take a look. I have not given permissions to any of the. So I selected the object and then I make it as hidden for all the profiles. That means I'm not giving access to any of the profile. And then even though I'm adding in the app, if I add in app and I'm not giving a permission, does it display? how it makes sense to you. So does it display in the app or not? I have added in the app, but I'm not given access to any of the users. So even though it is there in the app, you will not see it until unless if you have a permissions. App and page layouts, these are like a visual controls, whether you can see or not. But permissions will be controlled at a different level. First thing you have to have a permission, and second thing you have to add in your UI. You have to have both, then only you can see. Even though if you have an UI, the permissions will be having a superior. If you have access, then only it will display. Even if you have access, if you're not adding it to the app, you will not see it here. You will see in the app menu. Sorry, app launcher. So let's see if I am see it here. I'm not seeing it. Why? Because I am not given access. I keep the tab is hidden for all the profiles. Okay, can I make any change to it now? I want to at least keep it visible for some users. So now I don't see anything here. Now I need to go to profiles and I need to do it. Or so what is our profile? So we are a system administrators, this one. So if you have any doubt what profile is ours, then you have to go to the users. You have to go to users. From users, you can see the what is the profile name. So what is our login is SFTech. So this is the system administrator profile. You can open from there also. So once you are here, so what is your tab name? Is a project, right? So I'm trying to search with the projects so that you will directly land onto that project one. So you have set it as a tab hidden for this profile. This is only for the single profile. So I have to edit and then you can make it as a default off. So then what will happen? Let's see. If you make a default off. Okay, I'm just refreshing here. Let's see whether we can see it in the app or not. Okay, still I don't see it here. Let's see in an app launcher whether we can see it or not. Yes, we can see it. When you say default off, even though you added in your application, it will not show because you have turned it as a default off. You don't want to directly see in the app. You want to you don't want to see it here, but you can still see what are all the tabs you have access from here. Okay, but I want to make it as a default on directly wherever I have added, it has to show up wherever it is added in the UI. Then make it as a default on, then save it. If you refresh now, you should be able to see the projects at the end of this app. Okay, let's see whether we have added there in the app or not. Okay, let's see in the app manager whether we have it there or not. Apps and have added in SFTech. So this is what our app, right? I'm going to edit this one. You have to go directly to the navigation items. So we have the project here and we have set that as a default on. So we are good here. Let's see if I refresh if I'm getting. Okay. More time. Projects. I see it here. Opening. Still I don't see it default. Okay. Close it here. Refresh. Do you think anything we are missing there? We have added in the app and you have access that as a default on and you have it added in the app manager. Session settings, there is some catchy will be there. where the UIs will capture some maintain some browser. So if you do any changes, it will not immediately reflect. So if you maintain this enable secure and persistent browser caching to improve performance. So if I do that, it will not maintain any cache. Just I'm checking whether it's because of the cache issue. Okay, because of that. So now we see the projects. If I am not removing this cache, what will happen was it will reflect, but it will take some time. After you log in or like after you clear your browser cache, then only it will show up. Okay, so any questions? Yeah, I think whatever we planned, we covered it or not. Again, it's overshooted. Okay, we had seen what is the standard only we have covered. Okay, don't worry, we have not covered much in that object. What is standard object means? What already we had in Salesforce, those are the standard objects. So what are different tabs we have? So we had total 5 type of tabs that we had. Just know the names. Custom object tab is one, then web tab, then visual force tab, then lightning component tab, lightning page tab. These are all 5 tabs we have. And then objects, we have standard and custom. We have created one custom tab and we are not able to cover the fields. That's okay. So anybody have any questions?
So I had one. You just created a prod app, custom app, and added a custom tab to it. Okay. So what if there is just a custom tab? You know. So
yeah. So here, right? If you have only the tab, that's what we did for initially. Let's say we don't have this app, or like we have not added to this app initially, then you will be accessing from directly from here, from the app launcher. You will be having all tabs that you have access. So this tabs, what you have access, you can bundle them into the apps. That's what app does. You can have some pages what all you have access to the below. So you see some items here, right? So it's almost 100 or something is there. So you can bundle these tabs into an app. That's it. So you don't have app, you need to directly access from here. So if I search for a project, so you see it here, so you can directly open from here. Let's say I have added it in a sales app as well. If I go to a sales app, do you see the projects here or not? Where I had, you remember where I added? Just look at. So I have added there. So if you're not seeing it in this app, and if you open from here, so what will happen is this will open up. That's it. It will look like a new tab to it. But if you go to some other tab and you can come back here. So if you close it, okay, you no longer have it in an app. But if you want to go to the tab again, you have to go to this here and you can search for the tab and you can go there. So does it answer your question or?
yeah. So is there a possibility that the tab is created, it is not added into the app, but I can still not view it? I'm not sure which app it is, but when I search it, it's not showing up. So what do I do?
Come again. So you have an app and you have added this tab to that app or?
No. So there is a lightning tab, okay?
Okay.
And it's not added to any app.
Okay.
So my first question is there a way to know that this tab is added to this app? Maybe what if I don't know the app name?
Okay, what are all the apps that you have added or not?
See, here in this scenario, you know that you created a app called SF Tech. Okay. So you're searching directly with this app.
Hmm,
And that's how you know that there is a tab in this app.
hmm,
Okay. So if there is a if you don't know that there is an app which has your
tab.
particular tab, then
Okay.
mhm. So
Yeah, basically
is
like
there a way to know?
yeah, you have a tab. So what are all the apps that are having this UI or
Mm-hmm.
like a tab, right? Definitely there will be a way. Um, I'm trying to see a tab. We are not getting any option. Let's see once again. So when I click here, you don't see it here. Yeah, I will let you know that. So how we can, I don't see any option now, but definitely there will be a UI where we can
Mm-hmm.
see what are all the apps it been assigned.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll make a note that for tomorrow we have that question. Okay, so tomorrow we don't have a session, so we have it on Monday. So we'll cover it on Monday. Okay. So
Okay.
Monday is 25. Okay. Okay. Any other questions before we wrap up?
Yeah, Bala, you have created a custom object, right? So while creating the custom object,
Hmm.
you have given that as a tab hidden, right? So it was not visible for anyone. Um, you have updated like that while creating the custom object.
Hmm.
So after that, you have went to that particular profile and you have updated so that it will be visible to the particular profile.
Hmm.
Uh, so is there any way that once we created object, can we go ahead and re-edit that object from tab hidden to, uh, I mean, on to everyone, or we can't edit that in the object
Totally.
once we?
Yeah, we don't have that option. So
Oh,
again, we need
okay.
to go to the profile. So if it is easy when you are um, creating, if you have that information, that will be easier. Otherwise, you need to go to the
Okay.
profiles and do it.
Okay. So once we create that with that option, we can't re-edit it in the object manager, right?
Right.
Oh,
Okay. Any other questions before we wrap up? If you're good, uh,
Yeah, I'm good.
okay, if you're good, we're good to drop off then. So I will share that recordings and the material or notes what we had covered so far. So not this. I'll give some more descriptions to it and I will share. And so remember that you're going to receive a task and I will ask you to add messages when send a messages to in my WhatsApp. So I don't see a Javid, Deepa. Can you both send a message to me in the WhatsApp so that I can add even the groups and I can create in a separate group and I will share the material and assignment links.
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure, Bala.
Yeah.
Okay then, have a good weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
I do practice. So get ready for the quiz on Monday.
Sure.
Okay, then I'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Let's I'll
Thank
wait.
you. Bye.
If anybody have any questions, then you can go to drop off.
Thanks. Bye.
Babu Vinay. ఉన్నావా? Hello.